Madame de Pompadour was made a marquise. Later, another mistress of the king demanded she be styled duchesse instead. It became a romantic power move. My love is so profound, he gave me a duchy. And then came the noblesse de robe, the bureaucratic nobility. Lawyers, financiers, and tax officials who earned their way into the nobility. Yes, you could literally buy a title in France. Some offices came with a nobleman after a number of years. Others were attached to specific payments and could be inherited. It led to awkward dinner parties where sword nobles would scoff at robe nobles, who would then point out that their land revenues were double, and their titles came with less in breeding. There is even a curious story of a tax official who bought his way into a barony and styled himself as Baron de Quittance, or Baron of the Receipt. Not exactly the height of chivalric romance, but the man knew bookkeeping like a knight knew battle. You begin to sense the nervous undercurrent here. Every title, no matter how fussy or ornamental, was a tool in a never-ending competition to prove legitimacy, heritage, and relevance. Because if you didn't assert your titles, they might as well not exist. And as more and more new nobles emerged from financial or political circles, the old aristocracy doubled down on documentation, family trees, and public ceremony. That's why some nobles carried entire levers to reason books, tracing every ancestor who ever held a title, performed a service, or died poetically in a duel. These weren't just biographies. They were legal proof, social shields, sacred scrolls of snobbery. But then the revolution came. And just like that, all those layers of powdered prestige came crashing down. Titles were abolished. Heads rolled literally and symbolically. The nobility fled, disguised themselves, or rebranded as ordinary citizens. Still, many clung to their old styles even in exile. A displaced duke sweeping chimneys in London would insist on being addressed properly. The French aristocracy didn't die so much as scatter and whisper its own stories back into the cracks of history. And eventually, with the restoration of the monarchy and the empire, titles began to return, though never with quite the same pageantry. You stretch your legs beneath a golden candelabra and think. Only in France could someone hold 5 titles and still spend most of their day fighting over who got the bigger wig stand.